Hello and welcome. My name is Natalie Schlute. I'm your psychic success coach. And this reading is all about your love life, understanding some of the things that are coming in your future, things that you might be experiencing now, some obstacles, the positive, the good, the bad, the indifferent, all of that wonderful stuff that will help guide you in your love life now and in the near future. The way this tarot card reading works is you are going to choose from one of the 4 piles, and then we will do a full reading for each of the individual piles. So, depending on which pile you choose, you can skip ahead to that point in this video. Over here is pile 1, and if you enjoy using a crystal to help guide you with which pile resonates most with you, we have a black obsidian. Pile 2 is a rose quartz. Pile 3, we have lapis lazuli, and then pile 4 is a malachite. So take a moment, allow yourself to feel which deck resonates most with you, and then you can jump ahead to your individual reading. So for those of you that resonated most with pile 1, this is your initial setup that we're going to look at here. The world represents your experience within the world. Things being circular, coming full circle, having all these elements of curiosity, of travel, and it's a major deck card, which means it's a big life event. So whether you are currently in a relationship or you are looking into, creating a new relationship, drawing in your soulmate, this is a really great card because it's a big shift in your life. So you are either about to find a really wonderful partner, or the partner that you currently have, you're going to take your relationship to the next level. And whatever that may be, it may be a proposal, or if you're already married, it might just be that the two of you are going to have a much deeper connection than you have been experiencing lately. Your relationship is going to deepen and you're going to have a greater connection. Now, the 5 of Pentacles. Typically, the Pentacles represent body, money, the physical things in our life. And the Pentacles, they're all of the material possessions. So think of it as your outer world, whereas the Wands, which you have over here, are more your inner world. It's your passion, your desire, your spirit. And the 5 in particular typically represents things that are kind of falling apart. You feel lost, you feel confused. But the beauty of this spread right here for you is that the 5 of Pentacles is actually reversed. And what that represents is the fact that things are shifting out of confusion. So if you've been experiencing a lot of confusion lately, if you've been feeling a little lost in your relationships, which is why you landed on this tarot card reading, things are shifting for you. Things are really turning around. And even though you may feel like you've been struggling in your relationships, whether it's finding someone or in your current relationship, those struggles are now kind of unwinding. They're starting to shift and move, and you're actually coming to a really great space right now where things are going to come into fruition for you. These cards over here, again, represent your inner world. The Page of Wands, this is new exploration, curiosity, finding new things in your relationship, your current relationship, or this might be dating. You're actually going to be having more fun in the dating world right now, where you're going to be more of your authentic self. You're going to have a renewed energy, letting go of some of the things that may have been holding you down. What I'm sensing right now for all of you that chose this pile is that you have been holding on to some different ideas, some limitations in your mind, whether they are beliefs, whether they are preconceived notions about people, about who you want to manifest into your life, what things are supposed to look like. You've been a little rigid lately. And I think that's where this 5 of Pentacles was coming from, is that you've been in a state where things have felt like they're supposed to be this way, they have to be this way. You've been kind of rigid in your thinking and how you feel about relationships. You've been feeling quite stuck because you have a lot of rules. Like, relationships are supposed to be this way. Dating is supposed to be this way. My partner is supposed to act this way. Why aren't they doing this? Why isn't it happening that way? And so there's been a lot of stickiness very recently. But what this reading is going to give you as we continue to unfold the cards for you is you're going to have a renewed concept of what relationships really are, how they work, and you're going to be more open, more curious. You're going to let go of a lot of the mindset things that have been holding you back and causing you to feel kind of restricted and limited in your perspective of relationships. The King of Wands is really taking back your power. It's allowing you, your higher self, this beautiful version of your soul that you are, to come through in your love life, which is very different than the way you have been experiencing your love life. You've been allowing your ego, your subconscious mind, and your limiting beliefs to kind of override your love life experience. And that's actually been holding you back in the recent past. That's why you've been feeling really stuck. It's not that you're actually stuck. That's just an illusion. That's just a limitation of your mind, right? That's not something that's truly real. You're not actually stuck. What's been going on is you've been stuck in your thoughts and you've been stuck in your mindset. And that's what's been holding you back in your relationship, whether it's your current relationship or future relationships, the dating world, all of those types of things. So the beauty of this is that you are going to really shift your thoughts in your mind around your love life. You're going to approach things differently now. You're going to be in your power. You're going to allow your intuition, your higher self to come through. You're going to improve your confidence, trust and believe that the relationship is going to unfold the way it is meant to, and let go of some of the other things that have been holding you back in your love life recently. Next, we have magic of nature. How beautiful is that? And then kindness as well. So let's start over here with magic of nature. When it comes to the magic of nature, this is coming back to your true nature. I'm not sensing that this is necessarily like physical nature, you need to go have a picnic, although that would be really beautiful and wonderful for you. What I'm sensing here is that the magic of nature is coming back to who you really are as a soul, the authentic you, kind of taking off the facade and the cover of the material world and coming back to the true authentic self. We are nature. Our human body comes from nature, right? If we broke down all the minerals and molecules in our body, we are made of carbon and sodium and all of these elements that come from the earth. We are of the earth. So in essence, we are nature. And it's really just the idea of coming back to the truth of who you are, because that is what's going to set you free. That is going to allow you to step into that kingly, confident, strong version of yourself and allow yourself to come back to that curiosity so that you can be in and of the world experiencing love the way you desire it to be. Kindness. Kindness is flipped upside down. And so this is something that you've actually been struggling with. And I want to challenge you to understand that kindness, every habit, every pattern, every thought, everything you do, whether you're judging other people and you notice your patterns with judging people in your relationship, keep in mind it actually starts with you. I want you to take some time to really sit back and look at your own thought patterns and do some self-reflection in the next week. Spend 5, 10, 15 minutes a day if you can. It can be spread out through the day if you want to notice your own thought patterns. And maybe keep a quick little journal and write down the thoughts that you're thinking, specifically about yourself. Now, I know this is about love and relationships, but we can only show up for a relationship in the way that we show up for ourselves. So the kinder you are to yourself, the nicer you are to self, the more things you tell yourself, I am a beautiful person. Anyone would be lucky to be with me. All of these wonderful things that you can say about your relationship. Those would be a few if you're looking to attract a relationship. I am worthy of having great communication in my relationships. Just notice how you're speaking to yourself and notice how you're talking about other people. And not just necessarily romantic relationships, but notice how you talk about other people in your life. How do you and your friends gossip? Are you judgmental of people that you see? If you're sitting out on having dinner outside on a patio somewhere and you're watching people walk by, are you judging other people? Because if you're judging other people, this pattern is actually holding you back from experiencing the love that you desire. Because the way you show up for your life in one area is typically the way you show up in a lot of other areas too. So I want you to really focus on being kind to yourself, being kind to other people in your life, because that is the type of energy that will attract the soulmate that you want. That is the type of energy that will heal your current relationship. So keep that in mind. Just notice your pattern, start to focus on that, jot it down, take a look at that, and see how that feels for you. Next, we have breaking free, and then self-forgiveness. Of course, so important. And I find it very interesting that these cards match very closely. Breaking free of your old patterns, breaking free of this facade that you've been holding on to, this persona that you've been experiencing in your life. It also says try different ventures and experiences as a way to grow and learn. So it's going to be getting out of your old patterns, breaking free of how you've been showing up for your life, the thoughts you've been thinking that are actually holding you back. It's really the thoughts and the vibration that's been kind of feeling stifling, that's been stifling your current relationship or stifling your ability to attract the relationship that you're really looking for in your life. And self-forgiveness. So important. This goes right along with the kindness. Let go of old guilt and remember that you're God's perfect child. When it comes to being kind to yourself, it also involves a very strong self-forgiveness practice. I do have a specific YouTube video that's all about how to let go and forgive. This was maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. I did 6 months where every day I did a short forgiveness practice. Every single day. And what I found during that forgiveness practice was, yes, I had to forgive a few other people in my life, but every day it came back to me forgiving myself for things that I had done in the past, for not being perfect, for feeling like I wasn't good enough. And this forgiveness practice set me free. It actually allowed me to be kinder to myself, to be kinder to the people in my life, and it healed my relationship with myself and with other people. So I highly recommend, I'll make sure that I put in the cards in the upper right hand corner, this self-forgiveness practice, because it is so essential and important for your own healing, and then also for healing and having healthy relationships in your life as well. And the last 2 cards that we have are dreams, vivid dreams, dream messages, and then divination, prophecy, fate, destiny, and future. Both very beautiful cards. So dreams, you might be experiencing some things in your dreams at night right now. You might be receiving some messages, some guidance from your angels that are guiding you to the things that you might need to heal or work on, or they might be leading you to some evolution in your love life. So I highly recommend that you also maybe keep a dream journal. This may also represent, I feel like it's close to 50-50. For some of you, this is actual dreams coming through at night. And then for some of you that chose this pile, I also feel like this is about dreaming up what you want your life to look like, what you want your love life to look like, your relationship to look like, and get really, really clear. I want you to get so crystal clear. You know the type of person you want to attract. You know how you want your relationship to feel. What kind of energy do you want to have? How do you want to feel when you're around this person? How do you want your communication to look like? How much time and quality time, what kind of tenderness do you want in that experience? Do you want someone that really listens, that's open to communicating with you? Someone who goes on adventures with you? What are you looking for? Do you want stability in a relationship? Do you want someone who's calm and understanding, someone that's willing to grow and work with you in your relationship? And then start to cultivate those things within yourself. Dreaming is a really big part of getting clarity on what you want to draw in. And the more clarity you have through your dreams, whether it's daydreaming, visualization, or dreams at night, that will give you clarity and your ability to attract what you truly want into your life. So dreaming is so important. So I highly recommend kind of looking into your dreams, really getting clear on what you want your relationship to look like now and in the future, and then start stepping into the version of yourself that is already experiencing that. You must become the person you want to attract. You must have the qualities of the person you want to attract in order to really create the love that you desire to have in this lifetime. And then divination, prophecy, fate, destiny, future fortune. So with this one, I'm sensing it actually has a lot to do with this right now. Take some time, not only with the dreams, but I want you to look at the big picture of your life. The divination is really representing the overview of your entire lifetime, and it's coming into fruition based off of how clear you are on your full lifetime. I feel like these two cards came in together for a reason, because in order to control your own fate, your own destiny, and to create the future that you desire, it is going to be related to how clear you are on dreaming and creating the life that you desire for yourself. So really get clear. Just understand that your dreams are actually going to create your fate. The way you show up, the way you break free from your old patterns, the way you get back to your true authentic self, through being kinder to yourself and experiencing that forgiveness practice. All of these elements are actually giving you the exact tools, the things that you need to do in order to break free from the patterns that you've currently been in, and to come to fruition a new space of curiosity in your love life, and then to really step into your power. This is a beautiful spread, absolutely beautiful spread for those of you who have chosen this one. A lot of wonderful things coming for you in your love life, in your relationship. Keep in mind, you must do the work. This is all about the work that you must do in order to receive what we have up here. Be kind, forgive, break free, come back to who you truly are, and allow yourself to dream so that you can create your fate. I hope you enjoyed this spread here. For those of you who are interested in doing a one-on-one reading or going deeper into your love life, your relationships, and want more coaching, feel free to click on the link inside the description of this video so that you can set up a one-on-one session with me, and I can coach you through some more specific tactical things that you can do to really bring your love life into fruition. I'd love to help coach you on this so that you can really get to all of the love, satisfaction, and joy that you desire even faster. And if you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a like. Feel free to comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading. For those of you who chose pile 2, this is your initial 4-card reading. At first glance, this deck is fairly heavy, filled with a lot of emotion. And just so you know, as we start to go through this, I am going to give you the solution to all of these blocks that you currently have. You have had a lot of things that have been going on in your relationship, in your love life, whether it's a current one, past relationships, and maybe even for some of you, I sense a little bit of near future. But keep in mind, this is actually a good thing that you are getting this card reading, because what I'm going to give you is how to kind of solve all these problems. You have 3 major deck cards here. Major deck cards are big life events. So you have been or you will be going through a lot in your love life. And then we have a minor card, but it's really around the emotions and illusions. So starting out, the Tower card. This one is reversed. It means that there are some things that are stuck right now. You're experiencing some fear, some resistance to shifting how you see the world, shifting how you see your relationships and where things are going. You're having a hard time changing your paradigm around relationships, and you might be feeling quite stuck that things are not working out the way you have hoped they would, that you want them to, and that stuck feeling is actually keeping you stuck. The Wheel of Fortune, this card in particular, is representing that life has multiple experiences, right? We can spin the wheel of fortune, we can spin the wheel of life, and there's a lot of things that we can receive in our relationships, in our love life, in the situations that we attract to us. When this card is reversed, things are a little stuck. Again, we're experiencing similar blockages, maybe some misfortune. Maybe you're going through a bad breakup, a divorce. There's something heavy going on here. Maybe someone recently cheated on you. Maybe you've cheated on someone else. I don't know. I felt like I had to say that just because this is not for everyone. Not everyone that chose this pile is going to experience that. I just, for some reason, the angels wanted me to say that out loud. That there may be some trust issues going on for some of you, not all of you. And judgment. The judgment card, when it's upright, is a rebirth. It's an awakening. But because it is turned upside down, there is a little bit of a block. There is a resistance to seeing things as they truly are. And the Seven of Cups. This is your emotional life. This is your experience of how you're seeing your love and your relationships. And there's a lot of illusions here. So keep in mind, when it comes to working on our relationships, often we have these ideas, these concepts of how we think love is supposed to go, how relationships are supposed to work. Sometimes I feel like some of you have been testing your relationships. You've been doing, I'll give an example, like, oh, if my boyfriend really loves me, then if I do A, he will do B. Or he will do C. And if he doesn't love me, then if I do this thing, he's going to do this. So this whole illusion of how you think relationships are supposed to work, or testing your relationships, I'm sensing that some of that is coming up with some of you right now. Actually, quite a bit of you. That there's a little bit of testing, whether your partner is testing you, you're testing your partner, or you're dating, you're in the dating world, and you're testing the people that you go on dates with. When you approach your love life from that position, it is doomed for a bad result. I'm just going to tell you that flat out right now. That is not how to experience a happy, healthy relationship. When it comes to experiencing good relationships, it is about being transparent. It's about being honest and authentic. It's about saying the hard things that need to be said, about being vulnerable and open with your partner. And right now, you have been experiencing some illusions. You're under the illusion that relationships are supposed to be a certain way. And that is why you are feeling stuck in your relationships. That is why you have been experiencing some not so good fortune in your relationships. And you're having a really hard time getting good perspective on your life. And so those of you who are here, who have chosen this pile, this is what you have been experiencing. And so it can feel very heavy, it can feel very sticky, and there's a lot of illusions, a lot of mindset shifts that need to happen in order to experience a healthier, happier relationship and dating life. Oh, look at how beautiful these cards are. Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. Okay. So, with that said, even though that was a heavy initial read, here's the things that are going to help you break free, right? You are ready to break free from these patterns. If this has been your fortune lately, you are ready for big, beautiful changes in your life, which is super exciting. Those big, beautiful changes of breaking free from the illusions of your mindset, from breaking free of feeling like you're stuck and you're getting bad luck and all of these things, are going to lead you to a happily ever after. I mean, could you have gotten a better card to finish off here for you? So if you're feeling hopeless because of what you've been experiencing or what you saw here, no need to worry. Look at that. You get the happily ever after card. That is probably the best card you can get when it comes to having a love life reading. I'll tell you that right now. Next, we have empowerment and worthiness. Oh, so beautiful and so important. When it comes to empowerment, you're more powerful than you realize, and it's safe for you to be powerful. With your worthiness, know that you deserve to receive good in all ways. This is the key to your breakthrough, to breaking free and experiencing your happily ever after. You must come back to your power and feel worthy. A big part of the illusion of the mindset and the illusions within your emotions that you've been experiencing lately is that you may not have been feeling worthy. You might not have been experiencing a sense of worthiness to receive a loving relationship, to actually experience it in the current relationship or to draw it into your life. But the truth is, you were born worthy. You have been worthy your entire life. You don't have to earn your worthiness to be in a loving, happy, healthy relationship. You are worthy right now exactly as you are. And all you have to do is shift your mind to believe that you are worthy of receiving, and then to show up as the person that is worthy. Show up as that beautiful, worthy person that you already are, because it is safe. It is safe for you to be you. It is safe for you to show up as your best self, to be in your power. There is no need to hide. I think what's been happening here is that you've been hiding behind all of these ideas of who you think you're supposed to be in order to receive a relationship, and you haven't really been showing up as your true, authentic self, and that has actually been holding you back. This is time for you to break free. It is time for you to show up, and you just know you are safe to be you with all your quirks, with all of, your habits and everything else. It is safe to show up as who you really are. And when you do decide to step into your power, to step into, hey, this is me, I am going to be unapologetically me. I know I'm worthy of receiving a wonderful relationship, of evolving my relationship in something that feels a lot more wonderful. That's when you're going to have your breakthrough and you're going to experience your happily ever after. So just know that it's on its way. Breaking free from your patterns is really about taking your power back. Keep in mind, when it comes to power is based off of our own thoughts, our own emotions. And the moment you give your power to someone else, the moment you become a victim, is when you give away your power. So as long as you're holding on to blame and kind of blaming other people, whether it's blaming your partner in your current relationship, or blaming whatever your dating habits are, or blaming your past relationships. I was hurt in the past and that's why I am the way I am now. That's why I'm holding back. That's why I'm not comfortable being me, or that's why I don't trust. As long as you blame someone else or something else for who you are and where you are in your love life, you are not in your power. And so a big one for you to break free of this pattern is to experience a lot of forgiveness and acceptance. Forgiving the past and accepting where you are. Taking any past pains or hurts and turning them into something empowering. Lessons that you have learned from, but you don't allow the pain of the past to continue to hold you back. So breaking free and stepping into your power is going to be really breaking free of the past, your past patterns, your past hurt, and learning to trust, learning to love again, learning to open up, learning to be vulnerable in your relationships so that you can experience that happy ever after, because you are worthy and deserving. But it's going to come from stepping into your true power of who you are now, being unapologetically you. And through that forgiveness, when you forgive, it's about you setting yourself free and allowing yourself to be who you really are, but still having the wisdom of those past events so that you don't allow those past events to repeat. So understand that pure forgiveness does not mean you allow someone to repeat the same mistakes towards you in a relationship, but what it does mean is that you've learned from it, you've moved on emotionally, and you've taken your power back. Because as long as you're holding on to resentment and things from the past, hurts from the past, pain from the past, you are not in your power. You are giving away your power. So to break free, it's about taking back that power and allowing yourself to be who you truly are. And then our last two cards here. In Rama, wonder, voyage, crossing deep waters, pilgrimage, and journey of the soul. There is a really big journey that you are going on here, which we already knew. To go from all of this misfortune, feeling stuck, illusions, and having trouble initially, then to coming full fruition, to breaking free and experiencing happily ever after. This is a huge journey that you are on. This is a very big journey that you are experiencing. And then we also have falling in love, kissing the divine in another and in yourself. So often when we get a card that is reversed, there's two meanings that can have. So for some of you, it might be that you're feeling really stuck in this area. And for others of you, this is transitioning. For the majority of you, this is still feeling really stuck because you're still up here in these cards, and we need to apply these cards in order to, shift this area. But for some of you, this reading is already freeing you up. This reading that I've just given and the words that have come through about breaking free from your old past patterns, this is already shifting for a lot of you. So just know that you have a big journey that you're on right now. Again, these are all major cards. This is a really big voyage. This is a big pilgrimage of your soul to shift out of these old patterns so that you can come into that space where you are really falling in love with yourself and with the divine. I love this card. I'm going to flip this card around so you can see it upright as well. This is so, how beautiful is this card right here? Kissing the divine in another and in yourself. A big part of your journey is about tapping into your higher self, reconnecting to the divine within you. And that's going to be letting go of the illusions in your mind and in your energetic system. Falling in love, it's about coming back to the true, authentic self of who you are. We are all of the divine. You are a pure soul of love and light first and foremost. You are a fraction of God. You are a piece of the whole loving oneness that is the universe. And so coming back to the divine in you, it is always in you. You have it in you right now. The only thing that's holding you back is all these illusions of the 3D physical world, all these illusions about love, all the things that you've learned and picked up over your lifetime about how love is painful, how love is hard, and love is supposed to be this way and that way. We need to break free of that and just come back to feeling pure, authentic love and experiencing that divine love within yourself first and foremost. Feeling your worthiness, empowering yourself to be you so that you can break free and have your happily ever after. You have a beautiful deck here. You do have some work to do. There is some inner work to do here to break free from these patterns, but it's already happening. It's already unfolding for yourself. You just need to step into your power, know your worthiness so that you can reach this end point even faster. Start falling in love with yourself. And as you fall in love with yourself, you will draw in that partner. You will heal your current relationship for what's going on. And you'll really reconnect with the divine love that is in you and that is in all of us. So I hope you really enjoyed this. There's a lot we can do here. If you would like your own one-on-one reading, feel free to reach out to me. I will put a link in the description below if you'd like to set up an appointment so I can kind of coach you through. Everyone's going to have different things that will help you along this path. But if you want a little more coaching, a little more guidance, some specific things that you can do to help evolve faster, I would be more than happy to do that with you. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this particular reading, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe. And stay tuned for your next reading. For those of you who chose pile 3 with lapis lazuli, this is your initial baseline reading. There has been quite a lot of stickiness in your love life recently. The strength card is upside down, so this is a major card. This is something that's really holding you back right now. It can represent anger, rage, or even pride. So I want you to take a moment and really think, this is something that it's not like a recent fleeting thing for you. There's a root emotion that you have been holding on to that's actually holding you back a little bit in your relationships. And it's coming from, I'm sensing a lot of past younger years, maybe some patterns that you picked up from childhood, for some of you, a little bit of past relationship, but there's a default emotion that comes up for you that gets really triggered in your relationships, in your dating relationships, and also if you're in a relationship, your current relationship. So I want you to do a quick little inner search, kind of feel your heart energy and find out what emotion comes up for you a lot. Do you have so much pride that it's holding you back from being really true and authentic in your current relationship or in your dating life? Or is there some past anger and resentment patterns that are kind of fogging your ability to experience the love that you're really looking for? Because keep in mind, when we're looking for love in our life, whether it's evolving in our current relationship or drawing in love into our life. It all starts with experiencing it first yourself. You must experience it within you in order to attract and draw it in. And I'm sensing that there's a default emotion that's kind of getting in the way of you truly experiencing love to the fullest extent in your life right now. Because of this pattern that you have, we also have the 8 of Cups, and this is in reverse. So you're feeling a little bit rejected. You're feeling like there's some outcasting that has been happening, and this is on an emotional level. You're feeling like there's been this separation between you and the love that you really desire, and a lot of it has that foundation of the emotions that you've been experiencing. When we continue to feel a certain default emotion, whether it's anger or pride or something else, we end up feeling like we're separate from what we truly desire. You're feeling separate from love. You're feeling separate from these emotions that you really want to feel. And what's coming in is your ego. Your ego is actually overtaking your ability to experience love right now. Your ego and your pride, your anger, it's holding you in a space where you're not recognizing the love that is already in your life. There is love in your life. You can find it in your friends. You can find it in your family. You can find it with the people that you meet on the street, right? Love is here in this life, but your ego, there's some things that you're not willing to let go of right now, some patterns that are causing this separation, this feeling of this divide between where you want to be, but then you're actually holding yourself back a little bit. And the Justice card, this is another major card as well, which means it's something that's been ruling over your life for a while. The Justice card is judgment, right? It's the ability to decipher right from wrong. And so there's a pattern that you have been holding on to, and it is strongly associated with this emotion that you've been experiencing that's causing you to feel like you need to get even with someone, or you need to get back at someone, or I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. It's as if your relationships and the way you approach relationships is very black and white. Like, things have to be this way and they can't be that way in order for it to be a loving relationship, in order for my dating life to work out, in order for my current relationship to be where I want it to be. You have this imbalanced sense of justice in relationships, and that's actually holding you back and causing a lot of this disassociation, feeling separate from love, and it's very strongly associated with your ego as well. And so just a little lesson in experiencing the love that you truly want to experience. Love is unconditional. Love does not judge. Love is very patient. Love is kind, right? Let's get back to the original Bible verse that talks about what love really is for us. And when we're in a space of justice, when we have this really strong pattern of right and wrong and this and that and all these rules about love, those rules are not what love really is. Love is about experiencing and loving someone for who they are, being unconditional with your love, not only with others, but with yourself, right? Often, the patterns that we have for ourselves are similar to the patterns that we experience in our relationships. And so, if your ego is strongly connected with thoughts, ideas, concepts, and beliefs that I am only lovable when I do A, B, and C. I am only worthy of love when I do things, when I show up this way, when I say these things. This is how it's supposed to be. You know, you have all these rules, these checklists of love has to be this way, and I am only worthy when I am this way. We suddenly put a wedge. We put that wedge in between what we want and what we desire. And all of a sudden we feel like there's this big block, like we can't reach love because nothing ever fulfills that entire checklist. And so we have to let go of some of these rules. We need to let go of thinking that love has to be a specific way. We need to break down the ego, break down the pride and anger so that we can let go of this block that you're currently feeling and experiencing in your love life. So this is where you are right now. The next cards that we're going to layer over are going to help you get unstuck, to help you let go of the ego, to help you let go of some of the patterns that you've been holding on to so that you can have your love life come to full fruition the way that you truly desire. Okay, so our next two cards. Be honest with yourself. Environmental awareness. It's interesting that the be honest with yourself is upside down. I mean, I guess not that interesting, because if we really look at the cards that you just had, there's a lot of anger, a lot of pride issues, the ego is really getting in the way, and you've got a lot of rules happening. So if you're going to really be honest with yourself, you're going to have to break down this ego. You're going to have to do some inner work. Look at your thought patterns. Look at your beliefs. Look at the rules that you have been putting up around relationships so that we can flip these around. In order to flip this card around, you must flip these around, right? And that's all inner work. It's all about taking a good hard look, or maybe a soft, nice and easy, consistent look at what your current patterns are, what your thought patterns are, what your belief patterns are, what all of your must-haves for a relationship are, and really break it down. Are these patterns serving me? Do these patterns, interact and coincide with being honest with your highest and best self? Because I think what you're going to notice is that these patterns that you have going on, you're not really being honest with who you really are. You're not being honest with your true, authentic, higher self. And your higher self, the soul that you truly are, is this beautiful, loving, unconditional soul, right? That's who we all are in essence, is this beautiful, loving, compassionate person. Someone who lets go of judgment and is really open to who you are and who everyone else is in your life, whether it's your partner or if you're in the dating world. It's about letting go of a lot of the judgment and just being accepting of where you are and where everyone else is, and be honest with yourself. And so there's a little bit of work to do there. Environmental awareness. What I'm sensing with this card, for you in particular, is that it's going to be opening up your awareness to what's going on in the world around you. So not only do you need to look at your inner world, at your ego and some of the egoic patterns that you have around right and wrong, but you also need to look at your external environment. Look at the patterns that are happening in your home life. If you are, if you're married or if you're living with your partner, I want you to take a little bit of a deeper look at what's going on a day-to-day basis. What's happening in your home? What's happening in your relationship? Or if you're not living together, what's happening in your dating life? I want you to get hyper aware of your habits and your patterns. That's what this card is telling me for you, is there's not only some inner patterns, but there's some external patterns. And if you start looking at your life, what are you doing in your relationships? Are you kind of lazy with your relationship and just watching Netflix all the time? You're not really talking, you're not really going deep. Are there things that you're doing? Are you in a relationship and you're not really listening to your partner? You're not kind of going deep and really being there for that other soul that you're with. In your dating life, what are your patterns in your dating life? Are you very quick to judge? Are you very quick to cast someone out and not get to know them any deeper? Are you in a space where maybe you're kind of have the same dating style date after date and you're not mixing it up to make it creative for you or for your partner? What are you doing in your current environment, in your current habits and patterns that are helping you? And what habits and patterns are actually holding you back? So just keep that in mind as you continue to move forward with your relationship, whether it's dating or your current relationship. Just be very aware of your patterns, because it's so easy to get pulled into habits and patterns and then wonder why we're feeling stuck. Like, why are we feeling stuck? If you just take a look at your patterns, both the internal patterns and the external patterns, and be really honest with yourself, things will come to fruition for you. All right, our next two cards. Watch your thoughts. It's important to only think about what you desire and not about what you fear. So we have the same pattern coming up over and over again of watching your thoughts. And then explore your options. It's time to look at other possibilities. It's a good time to make changes. Good. So this is in reverse. So there's a little bit of stickiness happening in here. You're resistant to getting outside your comfort zone. You have these patterns in your environment, in the habits and things that you physically do on a day-to-day basis, or in your dating and love life, and you're having a hard time breaking free from that, right? What will really help you is to break out of your patterns and get a little bit uncomfortable. I'm going to be honest. When it comes to changing your habits and your patterns, it is uncomfortable making those changes sometimes, because you really do need to explore your options and do some new things in order to really break free from the patterns that you've been experiencing lately. And I feel like this one's really kind of obvious. Watch your thoughts. Just do a little bit of self-exploration. Start to understand your ego a little bit better. Start to understand the patterns that you're experiencing with anger, pride, resentment, whatever that may be holding you back. And just start to be honest with yourself. These are really connected here, and I feel like there's a lot of connection. Your reading in particular, the groupings are really heavily tied. That's kind of coming through for me right now, that I just need to mention that to you, is that your default emotions are holding you back. You're not being honest with yourself in some of these situations. So start watching your thoughts so that you can break free from these patterns. And then your ego is very closely tied to the rules that you have around life and the patterns that you are stuck in. And there's a lot of breaking free that needs to happen in the physical realm. This is very physical, and this is kind of your thoughts, your emotions, and your patterns here. So just for you, there's a little bit of this is the inner world, and this is your outer world, how you're expressing yourself with your physical actions in your day-to-day, and then some of the inner things that we want to work on in order to break free and get unstuck. Oh, interesting. Wow, this is really beautiful. Very powerful. I am really sensing a lot of power and a lot of shift for you, because it is very, very clearly broken up. The song of the siren, the call, summoning voices to acknowledge. Again, the voice, the thoughts. This is the foundation of being honest with yourself and breaking free from these internal patterns that have you so stuck right now. The song of the siren is all about speaking your voice, being honest with yourself. And it's not just it is the thoughts, but it's also how you speak out loud, right? If you can master your voice and the words and the patterns and the way you speak to the universe, the way you speak to your loved ones, the way you speak to yourself, you are going to have some really big breakthroughs here. And I find it so interesting that you have the sacrifice card. There are those worth making. There are those that will destroy you. So I actually see this as a positive card. I realize that it has a little bit of a dark tone to it, and sacrifice is this dark thing, but sacrifice doesn't always have to be a dark thing. When it comes to your physical world, the habits and patterns that you have in your environment and breaking free from that, it's going to take a little bit of sacrifice. So understand that when it comes to changing your patterns, your ego is going to have a stronghold on you. Your ego is going to want to keep you in the same space, doing the same things every day, because it's comfortable, it's easy, it's safe, right? When we have our routine, like every day, this is what I do. I wake up in the morning, I get ready, I go to work, I drink my coffee, I do all these things throughout the day. I'm used to coming home at a certain time, and these are the things that I do on the weekends with my friends. This is how my dating habits are. This is my love life patterns. I like to sit down and watch TV or read or do A, B, and C. You're very in a routine right now. Like, you're really stuck in a routine. And this is also holding you back. This routine is going to feel like you're sacrificing a lot. You're sacrificing a little bit of a shift in your everyday life, and it's going to be uncomfortable. That's what I'm getting from this card, is that it's more of a sacrifice of your old life, right? If you really want something new in your love life, if you want a new relationship, if you want to up level your current relationship, there's going to be some sacrifice. And the sacrifice is going to be letting go of your old pattern, right? You have to let go of your old pattern and habits. You have to sacrifice that in order to have the new up-leveled, loving relationship that you truly desire to have in your life. That's what this is telling you. The sacrifice is going to be worth it. I'm going to tell you right now, if you can shift your habits and patterns, create some awareness around your ego, some of the things that have been holding you back, and get really outside your comfort zone, it is going to be worth it. The sacrifices that you make, the things that you let go of, in the beginning, you're going to feel like, I really don't want to let go of this pattern. I really don't, I'd rather just sit around and watch TV at night. I don't want to get outside my comfort zone and start dating in a different way. I like going to the same place all the time. I like my routine. And, you can stay in that pattern. You can stay where you are, but you're not going to actually receive what you want if you stay in those same old patterns over and over again. Breaking free, creating a little bit of sacrifice, letting go of some of your comfort so that you can really step into the version of you, the version of your love life that you desire to have. The summoning, the voice to acknowledge and to be present with what your higher self truly wants. That sacrifice is going to be worth it, because when you make that sacrifice, everything will start to come together. You're going to step into your power. You're going to be honest with yourself. You're going to be speaking your voice, and you're going to overcome a lot of the patterns that you've been kind of stuck in for a while now. So you have some really great things coming for you. You are going to have to do some work, right? There is a little bit of action that you need to take in order to take your life to the next level. So if you enjoyed this particular reading for you, please give this video a like and subscribe so that you can stay tuned for all of the upcoming readings and videos that I have going on here. And if you would like a little bit of deeper help, if you would like to go deeper with me, I can help coach you on some more specific things that you can do on an individual basis. We can have some actionable things. I would love to work with you. Feel free to check out the link in the description below so that you can book a session with me so that I can help you on this love life journey. You've got a lot going on, a lot of beautiful things happening here, a lot of big shifts, and I'd love to support you in any way that I can. For those of you who chose pile 4 with Malachite, this is your initial spread, kind of the foundation of your love life that we're looking at right now. The Page of Swords, you've been experiencing some doubt around your love life, a little bit of confusion, and a lot of that is just coming from your mindset. It's coming from some beliefs and some things that have happened in the past. We have the King of Pentacles. So this here really represents a past relationship, or maybe if you're young, this might be a relationship that you observed, like your parents as well. There's been some controlling relationships in your life, whether you were controlling someone else was controlling you. Maybe that's currently happening in your life, or perhaps that's something that you actually saw in your parents and you're a little bit fearful around relationships because of this. So this is a pattern that you've observed or experienced where there was a dominant person in the relationship, and this could be happening to you right now as well if you're in a relationship where someone is kind of overpowering the other person and is actually leading to some mistrust, some doubt, some fears, just an unhealthy pattern to have. The Three of Swords, although this looks a little scary, it's actually a fairly good card when it's in reverse. Because in reverse, what this is you're currently in the process or about to be in the process of healing some of these past patterns that you've seen or experienced yourself or might be experiencing right now. This is really where the inner work comes in the mindset of actually doing the forgiveness practice, of getting clarity around things. This is where there's a lot of good shifts happening that are going to shift your love life. This is a really good card because it means things are changing for you right now, or in the very, very near future. Things are actually happening. So that's a great card to have in here. 3 of Pentacles. What I'm really picking up for this card for you is that there are some people in your life that have been giving you advice on your love life, and it might not actually be helping you. It might actually be causing you to be a little more doubtful, a little more confused with everything that's going on. So just be very careful of who you listen to, and get some good advice. Like, make sure you're getting advice from someone who has experience, that maybe has training, some life coaching, that really understands, soulmate relationships, twin soul relationships, that understands good communication patterns, that has kind of a background in that, because it's going to confuse you. This card brings in confusion, and it might be even some stuff that you've been researching or looking up, or you might even be giving advice to yourself right now, and that's causing a little bit of confusion. You're working through it, like things are shifting for you, but just be aware and be conscious of the advice that you're really taking in, the people that you're really listening to. And question everything. Question, does this advice really serve me? Does it feel good? Is it in alignment with my higher self? Is it really going to help me shift into the love life and the relationships that I want to experience? Or is it holding, similar patterns of allowing things to be in controlling? Is it causing a little more doubt, a little more fear? Does that advice help me move forward to being in alignment with the perspective that love is a beautiful energy and experience? It is possible for me. Or is the advice that you're getting, or the things that are coming through for you, are those things along the lines of, you have to be careful, don't let anyone control you, you need to guard yourself, you need to put up your walls? That kind of advice and information is not going to help you experience the true love that you want to experience in this lifetime. So just be very mindful of the advice that you're getting, the advice that you're finding, and make sure that it's of the highest pure love and light, that it's angelic information that is in true alignment with the love that you want to experience in this lifetime. Okay, so your next 2 cards, these are going to help you, actually guide you on your path to creating the love that you're looking to create in this life right now. Self-reliance. I'm sensing that you've been extremely independent. Like, you're the type of person that if I want things done, I have to do it myself, and I'm kind of in this on my own. You take care of yourself, you have your own mind, your own thoughts, your own way of thinking, and you really feel like you have to do it all by yourself. This is a very empowering thing, right? It's important for us to feel in our power and to feel like we do have control over our life. But I also want you to keep in mind that if we go too far in the direction of being self-reliant and don't allow ourselves to be in a relationship where we can really open up and lean on someone else, that may hinder you. And the opposite might be true for you. I'm also sensing that some of you that are picking up this deck, and you chose this pile, the other half of you are actually in a pattern of codependency, and that you need to be more self-reliant, that you need to do the inner work. I'm sensing there's like a 40-60 split here, where most of you, I would say maybe 60% of you that are picking up this deck are in the space where you're so self-reliant that you're having difficulty letting someone in. And then the other 40% of you that are picking this deck are in the opposite pattern, where you go from one relationship to the next, or you stay in a relationship that may not be serving you, that's actually kind of controlling you. You might be in a controlling relationship, and that is actually holding you back. You need to be more self-reliant. You need to trust yourself. You need to be in a space where you feel confident, whole, complete, loved, and worthy, just as you are on your own, without getting validation from someone else, from that other figure in your life that is kind of fulfilling that need for you. And then awakening your true self. This is a beautiful card. This whole process of healing your love life, of drawing in the love that you want, of healing the current relationship that you are in, is always going to be about awakening your true self. Because your true higher self is of pure love and light. It is that soul that has unconditional love, unconditional compassion, that is not judgmental, that is patient, that is kind, that supports everyone and everything, and has a loving allowance for life as it is and for people as they are and the relationship as it is right now. And so awakening your true self is really getting into alignment with the true higher self that you are. Instead of listening to other people or, kind of taking advice that doesn't really align with you, your higher self already knows the answers. Your higher self already knows how to heal your current relationship or draw in the relationship that you're looking for. And so start to tap into that. Spend some time with you. Spend some time connecting to the true you that you are so that you feel whole and connected. You don't need to rely on someone else, or you're at that point where you're ready to let someone else in as well. Your true higher self is of love and light, and that is going to make a really big difference. The more you tap into that energy, the more you will heal and bring your love life into fruition the way you desire it to be. Next, we have pay attention. Notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information, which is kind of what we were just talking about with awakening your true self, is if you start to pay attention to your patterns, then you will get very valuable information about how to heal, right? You're in this process of transitioning and healing, which we saw up here with the inverted Three of Swords. And so as you start to really pay attention to your thoughts, your patterns, signs and guidance in your life and around you, that's going to make this whole process so much easier. And then we also have make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. So you're really in that transitional process right now of awakening your true self, getting that guidance, being self-reliant so that you can make the best decisions in your love life. The reason why you've been feeling stuck is you've been listening to other people. You've been listening to bad advice, or maybe it's just bad advice from old stuck patterns that you've noticed in your life. And that's why you're feeling stuck. It's really coming from this advice, the patterns that you've kind of been in, but you're already transitioning, right? You're already in that process of shifting. You're already in a really good space. I feel like those of you that picked this deck are about to have a breakthrough. That's what I'm channeling right now. My angels are saying you're going to have a breakthrough. You're already in the process of having that breakthrough. You may not realize it right now, but the inner work that you have been doing and that you're currently going to continue with, you may feel like, oh, I'm not getting anywhere and I'm doing the work, but I'm not feeling it yet. It hasn't come to fruition, but it will. And it's going to happen very, very soon for you. I am sensing things are shifting in the next few weeks. For some of you, it might be in the next few months, but for a lot of you in the next couple of weeks. The far majority, like 80 or so % of you that pick this deck, in the next couple of weeks, like in less than a month, you're going to have a major breakthrough. You're going to really come into yourself. You're going to be awakening. You're going to start paying attention because you're already doing that. And you're going to pay attention even more. And all of a sudden, you're going to be so in your power. You're going to be so connected to your true authentic self that you're going to make some really big decisions. You're going to learn how to follow your intuition because you suddenly have this new awareness, and the decisions that you make are going to lead you in your love life, to heal your current love life, to be more deeply connected if you're already in a relationship, and then also to break through and attract the soulmate relationship, the love that you're really looking for. Or if you're in the dating world, it might just be shifting these thoughts and these patterns so that your love life and your dating life really takes a turn for the better. You've got a lot coming, and I can really feel the energy in this particular deck right now. And then we also have, to kind of finish off this reading, Farewell to the Moon. Appreciate and enjoy the lunar light and cycles. How beautiful is that card? And then we have divine sensuality, making love and erotica. Ooh, very interesting for you all who chose this deck. So when it comes to lunar cycles, keep in mind that it's a very symbolic energy. The earth and the energy and the magnetic pull changes with the moon. You can do a little bit of research into this. I've done a lot of moon work, and it's so fascinating because the ocean and tides change because of the moon. And the reason for that is that the magnetic pull actually kind of elongates the oceans on our planet, and then they contract. They pull and they contract. So there's this pull of energy going out and in with every lunar cycle. And keep in mind, we as human beings are about 70% water, some more, some less. The earth is about 70% water or so, 60 to 70% water. And so what happens with the pull of the tides during the lunar cycles is also happening with us. It is happening with the human body. And so just start to notice how you change, how your thoughts change, how your emotions change around the lunar cycles. This is actually something I've been doing for about a little under a year now. I've been tracking the moon and I've been tracking my emotions, and it's amazing. It is amazing how much we change with the lunar cycles. I've always loved the moon and those kind of things, but I never really tracked it until 2020. And I have to tell you, this is a game changer. If you really want to understand yourself, self-reliance, right? If you really want to pay attention and you really want to understand who you are and be in your power and be self-reliant, I highly recommend you start tracking the moon. Just start noticing how you feel around the full moon, how you feel around the new moon, how you feel in the in-between as it's waxing and waning. This will give you a lot of insights into you as a person and help you to navigate your own emotions so that you can experience better outcomes in your relationships. I know for myself, if you're in an unconscious pattern, if you don't really know how your emotions and how your energy changes throughout the month, then your emotions kind of rule you. And so let's say you're in a relationship, you're living with either a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend or something like that, and your moods shift throughout the month and you don't realize it. This is when you will notice you have patterns of feeling really grumpy, really out of it. You get into a lot of fights or arguments perhaps with your spouse or your loved ones. And even if you're not living with them, right? Like there are certain times of the month that you're going to notice you're a little more irritable. And it has to do with the moon. For females, it may also have to do with your menstrual cycle. And I highly recommend you track both side by side. I love the Moon app, or the Moon Calendar, I think it is, app that I use on my phone. And I can actually track my menstrual cycle and I can track the moon itself and see, because every month my energy changes, whether my menstrual cycle is near the full moon, whether it's near the new moon, or whether it's somewhere in between. But when you're very aware of your own cycle, that's a game changer, because then you show up differently. You're more compassionate to yourself. You're more compassionate to others. And then in your relationship, you can easily communicate that. Hey, I'm feeling a little irritable today. And so, this is just where I'm at today. If I get a little snappy, just know, don't take it personally. And then your partner will have a lot more compassion for you. It's just about communicating your needs by understanding yourself and really coming into fruition with who you are. And divine sensuality. So this one is upside down. For you, I'm sensing it's kind of a half and half. For some of you, you're really feeling stuck in this area of being in your own sexual power. And for others of you, you're transitioning, right? You're doing the healing work already and you're kind of coming into yourself. And so this is healing for you. But divine sensuality, there is an importance in being comfortable with your own body, your own sexuality, for being able to communicate what you like, what you don't like, and being really open and comfortable with your own sexuality. So for some of you, and this is a beautiful card specifically for a love reading, right? To have something like this gives you some insights that this is an area of your life to look at. Just notice your own habits, your own patterns Maybe, for some of you, if you're in a loving relationship and you've been struggling with your sex life, maybe you're in a marriage and things have gotten a little bit stagnant, I would highly recommend perhaps going to therapy, you and your partner, or exploring some different things, whether it's some educational books or DVDs, or just researching online, listening to some podcasts. There's a lot of podcasts out there that are specific around love relationships, around sexuality, about opening yourself up. Learn about your own body, learn about your partner's body. Spend some time actually exploring this realm on a conscious level, thinking about it, learning about it, so that you get really comfortable. I want you to get really comfortable with your intimacy, because that is when you are going to feel whole and complete in your love and your sexuality, being able to express yourself, being able to receive and also give very comfortably in your relationships. And for those of you who are in the dating world or looking to draw someone in, just take a look at your patterns with intimacy. Just give an honest look at your thoughts, how you feel in sexual relationships, some things that you desire that maybe you've been uncomfortable asking for. Now is the time to heal that. Get comfortable, even if it's uncomfortable in the beginning. Start getting comfortable with asking for what you want, for saying what you desire. Start getting comfortable with asking your partner, what do they like? What do they enjoy? Or, hey, does this feel good right now to you? What would feel better? Those kind of things. Start to shift your approach to your sexuality and open yourself up to being comfortable with your own sexual desires. And that is going to bring you a lot of satisfaction in your love life. So those of you in this deck, this is a really beautiful look at coming into your own power, your own sexuality. Things are shifting for you. Things are happening. There are some actions you can take here with getting to know yourself and paying attention to your cycles and to also your sexuality and just tapping into your higher self. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a like and a subscribe so you can stay tuned for all of the future readings and other episodes that I have going on here. And if you would like a more in-depth, personalized one-on-one reading, anything that goes into soulmate relationships, and if you want more coaching, just some specific things that you in particular can do, I would be more than happy. I would be honored to work with you. So go ahead and check out in the description below. There will be a link if you'd like to set up an appointment with me for a reading, for a coaching session on love.